very good afternoon, everyone. I think we can all hear me. My name's Richard, and I want to welcome you to On Get Appy, formerly known as All About Apps, but if I keep things with the same name for too long, I get bored, so I changed the name to be a Partridge Family song. Today we're going to be talking about apps, if you couldn't have guessed. Now, how many of us have used an app before? How many of us have never used an app before, to be honest? Okay, good. So my goal is not to show you apps that you know, it's to show you apps that you don't know. That's the pretty cool thing. So I want to show you some different apps you might have not heard of before or anything like that. But before we start talking about the apps, I want to talk about the App Store. Now, unless I say otherwise, I believe the plan today is to stick to all free apps. If I decide I want to show a paid app, then I'll tell you what the approximate cost of it is. But I believe I'm just going to show all free apps today. And also, most of these apps will work cross-platform. So they'll work on iPhone, they'll work on iPad, they'll work on Android, they'll work on, all of these other devices like that. But we're gonna start with the App Store. So this is the big little A, the big letter A, that's made with paintbrushes and a ruler and paintbrushes and a ruler and a pencil. It's the big letter A that's on there. And the big question I get is, okay, Rich, how do you find all these apps? I'm going to show you some apps today. Some of them you'll go, okay, that's an app a normal person would have. And then some of you are going to go, that's an app a crazy person would have. So we're okay. But I find them all in the App Store. So you see, this is the App Store, and this is the featured page of the App Store. When most of us go on the App Store, what do? We go ahead and we put a little search thing in the upper right-hand corner, and we get the Starbucks app. We get the Celebrity Cruises app. We get the McDonald's app. We get whatever app we want. But what's interesting is there's a whole curated section of the App Store, which is this first page. It's called the Featured section. And last week at this time, last week meaning last cruise at this time, the entire featured section of the App Store was what color? Green. For St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
In about 2 or 3 days, the entire featured section is going to feature all kinds of apps for Easter. So it's going to have all kinds of different things, and it relates to what's going on right then. So it's going to have all kinds of things related to Easter. It's going to have green things. It's going to have all these other things. My favorite is around Valentine's Day. In the month of February, right before Valentine's Day, this little carousel right up here, starting like February 1st, a little bit before February, has online dating applications in it. Because no one wants to be alone on Valentine's Day. About February 10th, it switched to flower buying applications. Because everyone needs flowers. And what happens after about February 16th? No, here's the funny thing. It goes to legal advice applications if you messed up Valentine's Day. That's actually not a joke. It sounds like a joke, but it's dead serious. LegalZoom and all these other things for filing divorce paperwork show up there as an option. But that is the featured section, and you should always check that out. It's on the iPhone App Store, it's on the iPad App Store, it's on the Android App Stores, and those are the things that the people who put the apps together decide are the important things to show. Now, the next thing is what's called top charts. And in apps, there are free apps, there are paid apps, and then there are free apps, which are paid apps. Don't worry, I know I confused you. Free apps are free, but let's talk about paid apps first. Paid apps have stars on them, the number of stars. Even if an app costs 99 cents, if it's rated less than 4 stars, should you buy it?
No.
No. Good.
For the last time, no.
Okay. If you haven't seen the no button yet, you'll get to know it. But you don't want to get an app if it's rated less than 4 stars. Now, I have only ever seen one app rated 5 stars ever. Rated full 5 stars, perfect 5.0. And you know what that app is?
Dark sky.
Google Photos. Google Photos is the only perfect 5-star app I've ever seen. And it's just kind of interesting. There is one 1-star review that is from some crazy person that says Google's the Illuminati and they're going to kill everyone and, stuff like that. Yeah?
How come the celebrity app is only 2.5 stars?
How come the celebrity app is only 2.5 stars? You ask very interesting questions that I will give you interesting answers to. Sometimes people downvote apps just for fun. I'll be honest with you. If you go in, I always recommend if you have an app that's rated at like 2.5 stars or so, you go in and you read the actual reviews. Believe it or not, some companies pay people in other countries to rate down their competitors' apps. This is true of McDonald's, Burger King, everyone. You have varying opinions. I'm not going to be discriminatory, but I'm going to make a statement. We don't have the youngest people using the celebrity app. Therefore, they may not understand all the functions of the celebrity app and might rate the app poorly for that factor. So just to give you a little idea right there, that's why I would say that. I think that's a fair question. I think I gave you a reasonably fair answer. So you've got the paid apps, and paid apps, if it's rated less than 4 stars, not worth getting it. The next thing is free apps, though. And something I want to mention about free apps is free apps no longer say the word free on them. They say get. Due to some regulation by the European Union that said you can't call an app free if it's not really free. The last app I'm going to show you today is the only free app I've ever seen. And you go, huh? Celebrity Cruises app is a free app, but what is the purpose of that app? Free to book cruises. I'm going to show you an app that's sponsored by an overactive bladder medication. And the purpose of that app is to sell overactive bladder medication. So every app has a purpose. Only the last app I'm going to show you today is a free app that is truly, truly, truly free. So, but you have your free apps. Now, should you get a free app if it's rated less than 4 stars? Why not? It's free. The thing is, free apps, you have varying opinions that show up. When someone pays money for it, they're going to give you a rather fair rating because they have to actually pay money to get the app. When you can get it for free, you can exchange the rating, you can send out the rating to ratings farms, and you can change ratings on apps. So paid free apps, just grab. I mean, Netflix is a free app. Netflix has 2 3/4 stars, to give you an idea. Netflix is a really good app, and it's only got 2 3/4 stars. YouTube only has 2.5 stars. I mean, to give you an idea, these are big apps. So in the free app spectrum, it gets a little weird. But the very interesting column is the last column, which is mostly free apps, but it's called top grossing. What does that mean? They're free apps that get you to pay money inside of the application. If you look at this, Game of War, Mobile Strike, and Clash of Clans are free apps that have each had multiple Super Bowl commercials. So are they really free apps if they can afford Super Bowl commercials?
No.
Probably not. So they're free apps that have had multiple Super Bowl commercials because they have purchases inside. Now, some of you are not going to admit this, but have any of you ever played Candy Crush before?
Oh, yeah.
You ever paid real money to play Candy Crush? You see, a couple of you in this room are lying. The reason I know that fact is at the height of its popularity, Candy Crush was making over $1 million in every 24-hour period. I don't want to say every day because Candy Crush is operated around the world, so if you took any 24-hour period, they're making over $1 million. Now that includes the ads and the bothering your friends on Facebook and all of that as well. But it's just interesting. So understand that there really, other than the last app I'm going to show you today, there is no such thing as a free app. Even though it's free, they have some way to make money. They have to make money in some way. So that's the top chart. So you can always see the newest apps that are coming up. Netflix, Super Mario Run, Facebook Messenger, and some weird Power Rangers, because Power Rangers just came out in theaters like yesterday, so everybody's loving the Power Rangers right now. The other nice thing is the way all these app stores work, if you were to go buy a new device, you have all of your apps you've already bought before in purchased. So I can scroll down, and these are all of the apps. Now hold on, what came first, the iPhone or the iPad? The iPhone. So I need to show the iPhone apps as well. And just to date myself, the first 2 apps I ever got were AOL Radio and AIM Chat. Yes, that was when AOL was acceptable to use. That was about 11 years ago. So, actually 9 years ago, because the iPhone didn't have the App Store when it originally came out. But I can scroll through and I can see all of the apps I've ever gotten. The last thing in the App Store before we start going into apps is updates. How many of you do your updates? And that little one shows up. Might automatically do it. How many of you check what's happened in your updates, though? You go to updates and you see what's happened. Yeah? Yeah? So, any of you use Facebook? Facebook Messenger had an update about 9 months ago that put video chat and voice chat into Facebook. They told you about it right in the updates. And I can see all of these different things that get updated all the time. I can say, oh, okay, they added this, and I can read what goes on. So go ahead and check your updates from time to time, just as a recommendation. Go ahead and check your updates, and you can definitely see what's going on if you go ahead and check your updates. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move into some applications. I want to show you a couple of different applications that we're going to talk about today. Unless I say otherwise, assume the app is free. So unless I say otherwise, assume the app is free. Now, my mom always told me, when you meet a group of people for the first time, there's two things you should never talk about with a group of people. What are they? Politics and religion. So the first two apps we're going to talk about? Religion. Politics and religion. Let's start with religion. So, I was raised, I'm not really a believer in any religion, but I was raised Jewish. So I was raised Jewish, and my mom told me one thing. She goes, never get a tattoo. She's like, never get a tattoo. So you know what I did? I convinced my mom I got a tattoo one day with this app. Now this is great. You can use this for the kids. You can use this with anyone. It's called Ink Hunter. It's the first app I want to show you. And what you have to do, you roll up your sleeves here, and you draw on your arm a little smiley face. This is just dry erase marker. You don't need to worry. I draw on my arm a little smiley face. The name of the app is Ink Hunter, I-N-K-H-U-N-T-E-R. I was showing someone this at lunch in the crew mess. And what I do is I take my little anchor, I take my little smiley face. Come on, smiley face. There we go. Now, my mom didn't believe me that was a tattoo that I really got, so I went and I took it all around the ship. I said, yeah, Mom, I got it because I've been on a ship for 6 years and all this stuff. So I took it and I took it all the way around the ship, and what it does, she's like, I don't believe you. Go take a picture of your tattoo out by the pool. So I went out by the pool, I took a picture of mine. I don't believe you. Go take a picture of the tattoo up in the Ocean View Cafe. She thought I was doing Photoshop. And what I was doing is I was taking this, and I can replace it. And then I got her even more. I sent my grandma a picture of my new face tattoo that I got. But it's really, really cool. It's an app called Ink Hunter, and all you have to do is you just take a marker, you mark on your arm with a little smiley face, see a little smiley face right there, and when I put it right there, it replaces it with whatever tattoo I want. So you just go on Google image search, look for some tattoos. I can take that picture real quick. I can't use this for my mom anymore because she doesn't believe it. And then I can just save it. And then I do a little crop, and I crop out that thing that says Ink Hunter, and I'm like, hey, Mom, I got a tattoo. And she flipped out. I had her going for a week. I had to keep drawing a little smiley face on my arm every time I took a shower, because she would ask me all the time. But that is an app. It's called Ink Hunter, and that is my little religion one that I like. And the second thing we have to talk about is politics, because why not? And the name of this second app is 1600. What do we know about 1600? What is 1600? 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, now occupied by the Cheetos mascot. But he's orange. I'm not saying any policies. He's just orange. He's fine. He's the Cheetos mascot. Does anybody have a dollar bill on them? Dollar bill? Good, I brought one. This is very cool. This is where the technology is going in the future. Imagine if I could take this dollar bill and make it do more than it's currently doing. This is very cool. The name of this app is 1600. And what I do is I take the dollar bill, I put it on a flat surface, and I aim my phone at the bill. And not only can I look at it, I can actually interact. I can move the bill around.
The White House is more than a home for the president and his family. It's the people's house. So it's your house too.
I can go in, and I think it's very cool because what this
George
is doing
Washington laid the cornerstone of this iconic
augmenting
building
your
that has been
reality.
an emblem of our...
So you see, and it takes the dollar bill, and I've got that and everything like that. It's called 1600, and it's a really cool app because it does something that, have any of you ever seen something that does that before? I think that's cool. Just for the tech aspect, I think it's pretty cool. It's called 1600. Now, since we've got the politics and religion out of the way, let's go into the meat and potatoes of what I like to talk about in my apps class. Now, one of my absolute favorite apps is called Google Translate. Have you ever heard of Google Translate before? I want to show you about a trip I took to Russia, and you can find my Russian trip. So I went to Russia a couple years ago, actually 2 years ago, and I went to a very fancy Russian establishment in the Nevsky Prospect. Carl Jr., yes. You ever been to the Nevsky Prospect before? It's like they took the American brands and transplanted them in Russia. I've been to the fanciest Pizza Hut I've ever been to in my life. But Pizza Hut with white glove service and candles on the table in a Pizza Hut. So, but I went to this Carl's Jr. and I got some chicken nuggets and I asked for some barbecue sauce. And they hand me back this container that obviously looks like a ketchup bottle, and the only English word on it is Heinz. Close enough to English. I don't like ketchup, so I used this next app I'm about to show you. I aimed it at my Heinz container, and I wanted to translate from Russian to English, and it translated to barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce is not what was written there. Then I went to another fancy Russian establishment. We're all familiar with this fancy Russian establishment, right? Cinnabon. We know that says Cinnabon, but what does that say underneath? No idea. So I pointed it right there, and I found that it says, world famous buns with cinnamon. World famous buns with cinnamon. But I want to show you before and after. Take, for example, this picture, which was right outside of one of the palaces in Russia, where if you have trouble finding a palace in Russia, I don't know where you are, because you trip over palaces in Russia, but we go outside, and there's that. What does that say? No raccoons on the xylophone. That's before. And it says, on lawns, not walk, just to give you a little idea there. Here's the coolest thing about this app. I want to show you how the app works, but something very cool is this app does not require an internet connection to do this translation. That's what's very cool about this app. It's a free application. It's called Google Translate. I need to borrow a daily program from someone. Anybody got a daily program? I'd like to do this. The closest one I'll take. Okay. Either one would work. But what I can do is I can set this. How many of you used Google Translate before? Probably some of you have used it before. So there's an app that's available on iPhone, iPad, Android. And one of the cool features is this little camera. This is a new feature. And if I click on the little camera, what I get is I can plug that in. And that says Celebrity Cruises. Just I need to make sure that there's no camera tricks here. We can see that that says Celebrity Cruises, right? If I open Google Translate and I set it to go from English to Spanish, it will now say Celebridad Cruceros. Wow. In real time. Now, before I had this application, whenever I went outside and I went out in port, I would eat one of two things. I would eat either schnitzel or lasagna, because those two things are spelled the same in every language. So no matter where you go, they spell schnitzel and lasagna the same way. But I can go into Eclipse today, and it says, Eclipse, hoy. Evening, it should be tarde. And I can just go in daytime, dia, and World Wildlife Walk for a Cause. And I can go through, and it's actually translating this in real time from English to Spanish. Now, not only can I do that, I can type in things as well. If I wanted to go from Spanish, I can go, if I wanted to learn how to say hello. Yeah, I know. I can go hola. Or I can use one of my Spanish phrases. I know a little bit of Spanish. I know enough. Hola. Hola. I know enough Spanish. I'll give you one of my Spanish phrases I know. Whenever I get in the elevator, anybody speak Spanish in here? No? Okay. Whenever I get into the elevator and someone's speaking Spanish, what I'll do is I will say my two Spanish phrases that I know. One of them is appropriate, one of them's not. I'm just going to say the appropriate one. If you've ever been at Disney before, they go, please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, Por favor, manténganse alejados de las puertas. Don't shame me. Por favor, manténganse alejados de las puertas. And people think I speak perfect Spanish after saying that phrase. Por favor, manténganse alejados de las puertas.
Elevators reserved.
No. It just says, please stand clear of the doors. But I need to learn how to say elevators reserved in Spanish. That's a great idea. It doesn't want to play with me right now, but we will get him to behave a little bit later. The name of that application is it's called Google Translate. Free application that you can get. It did the other one, but it doesn't want to do the voice one because I'm on a microphone. It's getting a little weird right now. The next application I want to show you is one that I used yesterday. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I went to the movies and I saw Beauty and the Beast yesterday. It was okay. I don't know, it wasn't great, it wasn't terrible, it was okay. I went and I saw Beauty and the Beast. Here's the problem, that movie is 2 hours and 9 minutes long. Now, when I went to the movie, I smuggled in my, I need 2 hands. I smuggled in my water bottle that had water inside of it, and bit into the movie, guess what happens? I had to go pee. So, how do you know during a movie when you can go pee? There's an app for that. It's called Run Pee. And I'm going to show you my notifications from yesterday because they're really, really funny. It was like, okay, 36 minutes in. I got 36 minutes to the first pee time, and then I had 3 minutes remaining in the pee time. I'll show you how the app works. And I had 1 minute until the next pee time, and 1 minute until the next pee time. It's called Run Pee. It's a free application. And I open it up, and I've got Beauty and the Beast, which is what I saw yesterday, 2 hours and 9 minutes. And you will see that there are 4 pee times during the movie. What you do is when the movie starts and the Disney logo fades, you hit Start Timer. And then it starts counting down until the next pee time. And I don't know how I feel about this. It will vibrate in your pocket 1 minute before the pee time, so you know pee time's coming up. So you go bzzz. You're like, yeah, you got a minute till pee time. And then what's very, very cool is when pee time happens, you can read what's happening while you are peeing. So there was a 4 minute, the pee time I used yesterday was 1 hour and 29 minutes in when Belle sees her father in the mirror in trouble and the Beast tells Belle, you must go to him, no time to waste. So no time to waste. As soon as it vibrated, I got up, ran to the bathroom, and I took down the fly, and I read the synopsis. We'll wait for that to circulate there. That's what it says, synopsis. But I went ahead and I read it, and it tells you exactly what's going on. What's funny is this is sponsored by Merbeku, which is an overactive bladder medication. Talking about one of the greatest app sponsorings of all times. It's a free app, but it's sponsored by Merbeku, which is an overactive bladder medication. Very, very interesting. We'll leave it at interesting app. Now, one of the things we talked about a couple minutes ago was translating languages, was translating different languages and doing things like that. But what if you wanted to learn the language? What is the #1 company when it comes to language learning? Yes, that's what we'll all normally say. We'll say Rosetta Stone. And up until a couple years ago, Celebrity had a contract with Rosetta Stone. So since they had a contract with Rosetta Stone, I could not talk about a competitor that was better and free. The good news is now I can talk about that competitor, which is far better than Rosetta Stone and free, and made by the people who originally made Rosetta Stone. It's called Duolingo. Duolingo. And it's free. It'll work on an iPhone, iPad, Android, Windows, Mac. It doesn't matter. And I can say, yes, I'm a beginner. I'm going to start here with the basics, and I'm going to learn some Spanish. Which of these is the boy? El Niño.
El niño.
You are correct. Which of these is the man? El
El
hombre.
hombre.
Which of these is the woman? La
La
mujer.
mujer.
The girl? La
La
niña.
niña.
Una
Una
niña.
niña.
A girl.
La
La
mujer.
mujer is the woman. And I can go in and, have any of you ever used Rosetta Stone before? Isn't this very similar to Rosetta Stone? If you've used it, yeah. This is called Duolingo. It's completely free. I'm going to explain to you how they make money, because it's very interesting how they make money. But you can learn any of these languages for free. So I can learn Spanish, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, Dutch, Irish, Danish, Swedish, Turkish, Esperanto, Norwegian. There's 2 I'm trying to learn to pick up the ladies in the dining room. It's Ukrainian and Russian. The only word I can understand that they say back to me is "niet." I'm not really sure what that means, but it's a joke. But I can go in and I can learn all these different languages. They even just added, this is going to show you how weird it is, they've added Swahili. But here's the interesting one. How does this company make money if it's free? And this is what you should always think about. You should think of an app and you go, okay, it's a free app, but if you're not paying for something, who's the product? You are. If you're not paying for something, you are the product, if that makes sense. So when you're looking at this, you're going, how do they make money? Once you graduate from Duolingo and you get the levels and everything like that, what they allow you to do is very interesting. They allow you to become a human translator. So when people have business documents and things they need translated, you can become a human translator. You get paid for being a human translator, and they take a percentage from what you make, so they are only successful if you're successful. Does that make sense? That's the idea. And they've done very, very well. And these are the original guys who made Rosetta Stone back in the day. They weren't allowed to make a competitive product for about 15 years or so. And they made this after they sold Rosetta Stone to a big multinational company. And it is absolutely killing Rosetta Stone because it's completely free. Now we've talked about languages. Let's talk about another language. 10 o'clock every morning. Boom, boom. Attention, attention, ladies and gentlemen, Captain from Navigasan Bridge. Yes. Google Translate. Good luck. But this captain's pretty good. I call him Captain Leno. Have you met the captain yet?
No.
He looks like Jay Leno. That's why I call him Captain Leno. He's got the Jay Leno chin. Yeah, I call him Captain Leno. Don't call him Captain Leno. No, I told you to call him Captain Leno. But I call him Captain Leno all the time. But what's cool is I've got an app that converts, because one of the things is it's hardly English, but the other thing that's interesting is he'll give you units that you don't really understand. For the Canadians in the room, they'll say they understand Celsius. The Americans, we like water to freeze at 32 and boil at like 215 or something like that. 210? 212. Okay, I was close. We met in the middle. 215, 210. So we met in the middle. What this app is called it's called Converter Plus. What it does is it converts anything. So the captain came on this morning and he said, since we left the port of Aruba, we have gone 417 nautical miles. Let me go ahead. I go into this app, Converter Plus. I type in nautical miles, 417 nautical miles, and I figure out that it's 479 miles or 772 kilometers. So I can go in and I can translate that. I happen to be in Lapland. I don't know if any of you have ever been to Lapland and seen the Northern Lights. I was in Lapland. The expression for someone who lives in Miami of how cold Lapland is, there's no words that can explain how cold Lapland is. But I was there and I asked the woman how cold it was. She goes, it's negative 40 degrees Celsius. I say, tell me that's something I understand. She goes, that's also negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I was like, I didn't know. So I put it in this app and I figured out that negative 40 degrees Celsius is negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Another example is I asked one of the engineers on board, I said, because I just wanted to know for my own interest, how fast do the elevators on board move? Now, according to all of your comment cards, they don't. But he said, how fast the elevators move? And he told me they move at 35 feet per second. So I typed in 35 feet per second, and I figured out that that is 23 miles an hour. And if you'd like to ride an elevator at 23 miles an hour, between 3 and 5 in the morning, you're welcome to ride the elevator at that speed. Elsewise, you're not going to get at that speed. The other cool thing, this is a single app that does all of this. It's called Converter Plus. The other cool one is you can even do currency. I know you've been out in Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, and they sometimes have their local currency, and you're like, well, what is an Aruban florin worth? Just remember, you've got three more weird currencies to deal with. You've got Barbados, you've got St. Lucia, and you've got St. Kitts. They have their own strange money. It's the Eastern Caribbean dollar, but they all have their different versions of it. And this app keeps all of them inside of it. So you have all the different currencies, and you can convert. I have it set on selective, so I just have euros, pounds, Japanese yen, Chinese yen, Barbadian dollars. So if we go out in Barbados, one US, because that's our next port, one US dollar is worth 2 Barbadian dollars. So understand that when you go out tomorrow, your buying power, a dollar, should be right there. And you'll see it go through, and it downloads these the first time you load it, and you can update the currencies, but it just updated right now. As soon as they update, they will stay logged in your device. You don't need an internet connection to use it. This app does significantly more than that. Plus, it is also a calculator. So if you have an iPad, it's likely you don't have a calculator built in on your iPad. This has got a calculator built right here. And if I wanted to add $10 times 0.7%, I can go ahead and I can figure out what all those are right in the calculator. It's a really, really cool app. It is called Converter Plus. Now to another app that's a little out there. It's kind of based on a similar theory to the dollar that I showed you earlier. It's called Car Finder, C-A-R-F-I-N-D-E-R. And what it does is it helps you find your car. Now, Car Finder. Now what you do is when you leave your car, you say, I parked here. We could say normal. And it's going to mark where you parked. When you are coming back and you're in the park, when you're right outside of Disney or right outside of anywhere, someone went to Disney right after the ship 2 weeks ago, and they wrote me, they said this was a lifesaver. You take the phone, you hold it out, and it puts a big old ugly arrow right over your car. Works in parking garages and everything like that. It won't work inside of a ship, but it puts a big old ugly arrow in front of your car. Now what I use it for is I use it for Ship Finder, because this ship does a lot of overnights. So when we went out in Aruba, I always get scared when I go off the ship and I can't see the ship. from where I'm at, so it makes me feel better to just go like that, and I can see, oh look, there's a big arrow, and the ship's 4 miles away in that direction. Even though I can't see it, I can see it. Does that make sense? It's called Car Finder. It's a very, 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 very cool.
Vocalize that to the app when you left.
When I left, there's a button that says I parked here. So you open up the app and you say I parked here, and you can choose, we're not going to get any precision indoors, but you can choose normal or higher precision, and it'll go through and it will lay out where exactly we are, which is what's very, very, very cool. Now, apps are used for different things at some different times. I'll tell you another department that uses apps on board. I don't know if any of you have gotten a chance. I want to show you something cool, because I spoke to someone and I have to find it. I take a lot of pictures, just FYI. I don't think I take a lot of pictures. I take a substantial amount of pictures. But another department on board that uses apps, have any of you been to the Cuisine restaurant?
Yeah.
Have any of you not been to Cuisine? I had a friend that sailed with me last cruise, and I don't do ads for other people unless I do the stuff myself, if that makes sense. I have a friend who sailed with me last cruise, and I said, my mom's favorite thing about the ship is Cuisine, and what's cool is you actually order on iPads, but they have really interesting dishes, like this is the disco shrimp. These are the lamps that are hanging from the ceiling for some reason. You've got all kinds of different stuff, spring rolls that are served on springs. I'm trying to make sure I don't show you anything too much here. Spring rolls served on springs. My favorite is the sliders. That's one of my absolute favorites. And then this is a cheesecake teeny, a cheesecake martini, just to give you a little idea. And what's cool is during lunch, I was having lunch with the maitre d' of Cuisine, and he said, hey, if you want to give your guys in your class something nice, if you go, you mention iLounge sent you, you get 30% off of the cover charge. Wow. So I'm just 30% off of the cover charge. So he said, I help him out all the time and stuff like that with his iPad, stuff like that. He goes, mention it to your people. He goes, don't spread it too far. But I wanted to plug that, because one of the next things we're going to talk about is food. So let's talk about food. How many of you like food? How many of you have cookbooks sitting around the house? If you have cookbooks sitting around the house, I want to show you a really cool app, and this is the only app I'm going to show you during this class that's actually recommended by Apple. What I mean by that, this is one that you're going to find on the machines in the Apple Store. It is called Epicurious. Epicurious. It's probably one of the few that I'm going to talk about today that some of you might have known of before. Now, I want to tell you a true story about this app. Do any of you know, he was on this ship for quite a number of years. I think he's around the fleet now. The executive pastry chef, Bruno. Okay, I'm going to do my Bruno impression. I'm sorry, Bruno. Hello? My name is Bruno. I'm a pastry chef on board the ship. I have a passport for 7 countries. He's a good man. He's wanted by Interpol. He goes, I'm wanted by Interpol. But he calls me up one day. He goes, Richard, I have a problem. We have too much of the food on board and it's going to expire. I go, Bruno, you're the chef. Why are you calling me? He's like, because I'm a pastry chef and I don't normally cook with this food. Do you have an application or something? I go, I actually do. It's called Epicurious. And I go, Bruno, why are you calling me? What is this food you have too much of that you don't know what to do with? He goes, it's bacon. I'm like, what? He's like, it's bacon. So I can choose, and he's a pastry chef, so he deals with desserts. So I went ahead and I typed in bacon into the dessert field, and I got up bacon baklava. Now some of you are thinking, oh no, but what you've got to realize is most of our officers on board are Greek. So they like any type of baklava. So we made, he actually let me back in the kitchen, he's like, Richard, we're going to make the bacon baklava. So we made the bacon baklava. It's not on this ship, it was on the Equinox, and it is actually in the crew mess all the time on the Equinox now. They love the bacon baklava. It has a bunch of bacon in it and a bunch of bacon fat in it. It's bacon baklava. It's an absolutely amazing food. I absolutely love that food. But I found it. I make it at home sometimes too. But like one of the chefs, we had a new chef down in the crew mess. We had at lunch today, one of the best things I've ever had on the ship, jerk chicken casserole.
Yeah.
The problem is the stuff that you guys have is like sent by the office and special menus and stuff. They test all this new stuff out on the crew all the time. So I guarantee in about a month, if you go up to the Ocean View Cafe, you're going to see jerk chicken casserole, because that's what I had for lunch today. And I had 3 plates of it. 3 plates of jerk chicken casserole. I didn't care how many calories were in it. But this is what's really cool. It's an app. It's called Epicurious. Now I'm going to show you another app on my iPad, and then switch back to my
How
iPhone.
do you spell that again, Rich?
EPICURIOUS. Now, another app I want to show you on my iPad is called TRVL. And it's a very, very cool app. Now, on the Celebrity Reflection, also, speaking of I do things with different ships and we have different things. In the Celebrity Reflection, inside their future cruise sales office, one of the things that they got rid of, because Celebrity is a very environmental friendly company, we don't have the big brochures anymore on the ship.
Yeah.
So on the Reflection, what they have is they have iPads that have this app loaded on it. It's called TRVL, and what it has is information for all of the countries that Celebrity visits and some more. It's a free app. And you can go in, and like if I scroll down, I can see I have Aruba here, for sure. I have Aruba. There's another one there. I don't know what that is. Aruba and Bonaire. So there's no Curacao there yet, but they add them all the time. So Curaçao's not there, but you see those little marks on Aruba and Bonaire? So it's got whole stories about Aruba and whole stories about Bonaire. These are put together by the visitors bureaus in each of those countries. And I can go in, and I can read about Bonaire, why Bonaire's airport is painted pink. And you can go ahead and it will tell you all of these stories about flamingos, about all of that. And what's cool is you can download this to view it offline. So before you go on the cruise, you can download it, you can view it offline. I think the only place that we go that's not in this app yet is Curacao. Everything else is here. St. Lucia, St. Kitts, all of those other saints are here. It's a free app, which is what's really cool. Unfortunately, it's just for tablets right now because of the way it's done. So on iPads and Android tablets and some of the Kindle tablets and different things like that. But I can go in and I can see places all over the planet. TRVL. TRVL is the name of the app. Now I want to show you an app that we're going to talk about in a few days' time. I want to give you another look at it because I love this one. Now, for the VIP group, we're going to be doing it at 3:30 today if you've signed up for that. If not, we're going to do it as well together. It's called Google Photos. And it is the only app that I can rate 5 stars personally. I love this app, and it's the only app I've ever seen that's actually rated 5 stars. I'm going to show you something. If you've seen this ad already, then you've seen this ad already. But I love this ad because this is a problem I know almost every single one of you in this room has faced before.
Okay, just like that.
Alright, take a picture this time, right?
1,
2, 3. Ah, I missed it. Do it again.
ready, set, stop.
We've probably all experienced that before. What Google Photos does is it solves that problem. It frees up space on your phone, it keeps it in the cloud, it keeps it organized. St. Kitts Day, we're going to be in here in the afternoon at 4 o'clock talking about Google Photos. So we've got that coming up, St. Kitts Day. At 4 o'clock we're going to be talking about Google Photos on that day. But we also have something before that, which is going to be not tomorrow night, but the next night. I've got something really, really interesting. I'll see, maybe I'll show you a couple seconds of it. Yeah, let me show you a couple seconds of it. I'll give you a heads up on it. You know how they do those game shows in the entertainment court all the time? They do those different like Wheel of Fortune and stuff like that. Well, I'm finally getting my own game show. It's called the Smartphone Challenge. I'll show you a couple seconds of it. It's actually very cool. What you do, let me go back a little bit. I can't give away all the questions because they'll get angry at me. But we're going to do this not tonight, not tomorrow night, but the next night. And what's cool is to give you an idea of what Google Photos does, what you're going to do is you're going to bring your iPhones or your iPads, and I'm going to choose a topic. So I will give you the practice one because who cares? So the device, it needs to be in your camera roll, and what you have to do is you have to find, say, a picture of dinner. So people will be racing each other to find a picture of their dinner, and the winner would get a prize for every round. We have 15 rounds, and it's pretty cool. But the idea is I'm going to show you how Google Photos would do the same thing. Where'd you go? No, I can't show you round 1. No, that's no fair to the other people. Here we go. But like this is how I found a picture of dinner. I just typed in dinner, and done. Instead of scrolling through everything. So I'm going to show you Google Photos on St. Kitts Day.
And you got that because you have Google.
I got that really quickly because I had Google Photos, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be racing me, which should be a lot of fun. Let me switch out of there. Oh no. Hold up. Let me exit that. Okay, I'm going to stop that real quick. I can't show you all of that. I have one show you, but I want to mention something that a lot of people have been asking me about. What's very cool is if you take a look, let me play this real quick. If you take a look at this little guy that's sitting right in the middle of the screen right here, right in the middle of the stage, if you've missed anything from the class, if you missed any of the app names, I'm going to show you one more app, but if you missed anything, everything is on this website the day after we do the class. So everything goes right up to that website. You can access it from home. You can access it from the ship. It's called iLearnReview.com. It's something brand new I've been doing for...
With those capitals.
Doesn't matter. That's just my... That's how it should be done. But no, you can be lowercase. You can be anywhere like that. iLearnReview.com. All the classes and all of that go up there the day after they're done. So it's really cool. And not only the stuff from this cruise, but I shoot some stuff before all the evening classes. That's a little 10-minute thing, and those are different every single cruise, which is what's very, very cool. But I have one last app that I want to show you today, which is the only app that is a free app that I've ever had. Let me close this real quick. It's the only app that I've ever had on any of my devices that's a truly free app. What do I mean by that? There is nobody making any money off of this app in any way, shape, or form. And the only way the app continues to work is through donations. It's called Be My Eyes. I'll show you a little bit about this app real quick. It's called Be My Eyes, and it's the only really, truly free app that, in my opinion, has ever existed. A couple of my friends that I know from college actually made this app. I got to go to the launch, which was at a TED conference. Have you ever heard of TED before? It's at a TED conference. It's called Be My Eyes. I'm going to play it, and I'm going to tell you the biggest problem with this app, and it's a good problem to have. Let me open the app. It's called Be My Eyes.
Play music.
Let me go back. Check
Go to school. You might wonder how blind people deal with everyday challenges. Well, normally the answer is simple. We're not that different from you. We play music. We go to school. We go to work. You get the picture. But sometimes the simplest things can be difficult, and we need a pair of eyes.
Connect to.
That's where you come in.
Establishing video connection.
Through your smartphone, Be My Eyes connects the blind with sighted people through a live video connection. Simply choose if you need help or want to help by the click of a button.
Customize pictures you and family can. Is it well present?
Yes, it's a photo from our parents.
You can help just by installing the Be My Eyes app, and we'll notify you when someone needs your help. And if you're in the middle of something, don't worry. Someone else will step in. So, would you care to be my eyes? The Be My Eyes app. Find it in the App Store.
So I'll tell you what's really interesting about this app is it has a big problem. Let me tell you that it's not a big problem. It's a joke of a big problem. The big problem is they have 10,000 blind people signed up to use this app, and they have over 1 million sighted people willing to help. So they have more people than they need to actually help with that, what's going on. Now, our next meeting in here will be for Google Photos on St. Kitts Day, but we're also going to have some stuff on the C Days going back as well. So we got C Day. We're going to be taking a look at apps on the C Day, all the different apps that are available. Not apps, we already looked at apps. We're going to take a look at the cloud, as well as we're going to talk about Google Photos a bit earlier, but we're also going to talk about Gmail. So we're going to talk about Gmail, we're going to talk about Google Photos. I'm looking for an interesting picture, if I can find it real quick. I apologize. Let me see if I can find this picture. Okay, there we go. There's the pictures. That's something cool. But we're going to be talking about Gmail. We're going to be talking about all kinds of different things like that. But we do have some smaller sessions in the iLounge. It's called iLearn. That's the name of what we do. But I want to leave you with one more interesting thing. Like I said, last cruise I was kind of like a tourist because I had someone with me who's sailing that's never been on the ship before. And I gave him the whole Shore Excursions booklet. And I said, hey, Bill. Yeah, that was his name. I said, hey, Bill, choose something you want to do. And he's a nerd, let me just be completely honest. So something really cool that Celebrity has, and this is the pilot ship for it, and you've probably never seen it on any other ship before, it's called Inside Access. I'm wearing this guy around. I've been on ships for 6 years, and I'll tell you something that I've never done before. I've never gotten to go inside of the wine cellar that's in the dining room. So that's what I went inside the wine cellar. I've been to the bridge multiple times before, but I've never been back where they keep all the beer. This is where they keep all the beer. This is where they keep all the food. It's very, very cool. Engine control room. They wand you down and everything. This is the security guard letting us into the engine control room. But it's very, very cool. It's just something they offer on board the ship. I wanted to mention that to you because it's a really cool tour, and it's the one that I got dragged along on last cruise. And I actually learned something on that tour. And working for the company for 6 years, that's quite impressive to go in and look and learn something. So again, yeah, you got a question?
Yeah, question.
Yeah.
Why aren't apps made for computers as well?
Why aren't apps made for computers as well? For Apple computers, they're made. For Windows computers, they are made as well. They do have app stores. The problem is computers are going back into the app generation. You still can get apps for computers, but apps are designed as single-purpose things, and computers are not designed as single-purpose things. So we'll take that offline. There are plenty of apps for computers. We're going to let the next session come in. I will sit around for as many questions as you have, but this has been Come On Get Appy. Bye! See you guys now.